1 minute warning!
To the goofball army out there, hi at the families, tell them to get to the next room, tell them to go to your neighbors, because we got goofball news to go over, and it might get crazy.
Typically does, guys. If it's your first episode ever, you got like 30 seconds before we start, so not enough time to go to the bathroom, but go get a drink, because trust me, you're probably going to need it there. In the meantime, the rest, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. That way you know about future episodes as well, guys. Buckle your seatbelts if you haven't already. Make sure your tray is in the upright position here, guys, because we are just about ready to get going. And like, oof.
Guys, if you want a crazy ride going forward, a bunch of nonsense, but all nothing but the truth about the Giants, listen in, buckle in, tell a friend.
Let's go.
And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, the New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
I'm Rob, and on a special edition of the Goofball Show.
It is an extremely special edition because Rob was on time.
And just when we told you we were going down to 3 episodes a week, boom, we hit you with an extra 4th one.
Episode 4, here we go. It is what it is. And this will be a quick one tonight, guys, but we wanted to go over everything going on with all the coaching news here because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. And, of course, we got the biggest name drop there is there. Not a friend of the show, no. But Giants fans, this is not a drill. John Harbaugh is suddenly available. The Giants were already monitoring the situation, and one report may just reset the entire coaching search there, guys. So, again, John Harbaugh has been fired from the Ravens there today.
Mutual part of ways.
75-25.
Mutual part of ways has gone
25-25.
Here's a little respect. You didn't get cans.
Yeah.
You decided you want to leave.
Yeah, it's kind of like where Tom Coughlin got mutually parted ways with the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like that.
Vibes.
So now it's been reported that the Giants were monitoring the situation prior to this happening. That's been reported by SNY and a whole bunch of other sources there as well. So kudos to Connor Hughes. He's the first one I saw there with it. Falcons also said to be monitoring the situation as well. So Adam Schefter almost immediately when it happens says, sources, John Harbaugh is expected to emerge as the favorite for the head coaching job of the New York Giants. Harbaugh will be in demand for many teams, not just the Giants. And if that is not the winner for the most obvious duh moment ever on social media.
It is like he had it ready to go for that moment. He saved that like in an open like notes thing, just copy and paste it.
But it's like, of course, yeah. I mean, you're able to change the name of every single team that he's a coach, and all of a sudden he's the favorite. He's the favorite for the Cardinals. He's the favorite for the Titans. He's the favorite for, for the Falcons. He's the favorite for every single goddamn team that needs a coach.
And insert quarterback name.
Yeah, like that's just what it is. Now, here's the big one, though. Ian O'Connor goes on X, says, John Harbaugh has a high regard for the Giants' job and for Jackson Dart. Of the 6 head coach openings, I believe he might have the Giants at number 1 or damn close to it. As I wrote yesterday, I believe he hurdles Kevin Stefanski as the leader in the clubhouse.
Should be more than hurdle.
Yeah, leapfrog.
Superman leapfrog.
Yes. Now, I said this before, I'll say it again. I don't care what happens as far as how you get it done, just get it done. But if I was in control of anything with the Giants, I would have a private jet waiting to pick him up the second he's ready. Like right now, it's sitting there, ready to go. Like, I don't care. I'm going to hold this thing overnight. Done. First in the morning, come on down. We got you. And you're not leaving the goddamn building.
You have that private jet ready to go with an open check. A blank check, name your number.
I'm also interviewing Mike Kafka today to make sure I hit the Rooney Rule.
They did.
Yeah, like I'm telling you, that's what I would do. Like this is what we've been asking for. Now, John Harbaugh's agent talked to Adam Schefter a little bit after it happened too, and said he's already been contacted by 7 teams that are inquiring about him as a head coach. Now, interesting thing, there are 6 head coaching jobs right now.
Interesting.
Actually, there's 7 now technically because of the Ravens, but I don't think the Ravens contacted him about their head coaching.
Yeah, I was going to say. Imagine.
So, yeah. So to me, that means there's somebody else available. Now, that's the thing to keep an eye on. Is this can also turn negative for the Giants real quick, because what happens this weekend may also determine if the Giants are the front runner for Harbaugh. Because I'll tell you point blank, I think we're automatically the front runner for Harbaugh if he right as of right now who's available. But let's say, for example, we go ahead and go into this weekend and the Packers lose. You know, LaFleur's on thin ice. Let's say the Bills lose. That job can become available as well. How many years do you get to the playoffs and not make it into the Super Bowl? Just saying, right there. That's what you got to consider, is those are possibilities as well. I'm giving you guys worst case scenario because we have to. We're Giants fans. We're used to worst case scenario. Let's be very frank on that.
Listen, either one of those coaches come over to the Giants as well. I don't think they're moving though.
No, but here's the thing though. So let's say hypothetically that happens. John Harbaugh goes there. Well, to everybody else but John Harbaugh, let's be very frank. We're probably the second best job out there now, because Baltimore is a bit more attractive spot. It is.
To a point.
They got their shit together.
You're going to see. They got their shit together, but also how well are those players playing for them? So imagine you got this team that has a young quarterback that could throw a deep ball and also extend it with his legs. Imagine you got a great receiver and you got a bull rush running back. Oh, you got defensive players who can actually stop the ball when coached correctly. What kind of team does that sound like? Just one that needs a system put in place.
Yeah, basically.
So it's a very similar like workings. And Jim, when he went over to the Ravens, like they weren't as stacked as like how they are now. Like he did a lot of moves. So like you get him before the draft, that's a guy you can rebuild with and get a big turnaround real fast.
Oh, and Maddie's correcting us, and I'll take it because I admit freely that I don't know all the rules on Rooney because, quite frankly, we're not involved in interviewing coaches. 2 minority candidates outside of house to meet the Rooney role. So, yeah, we're going to have to do 2. Cap doesn't even count. Luckily, we have some guys that are coming in that do count, though. So, it is what it is there. We're gonna figure that out. And quite frankly, I don't care. I'll pay the fine. What's the fine? Probably money.
Definitely money. And probably a draft pick.
Listen, I don't even care. If I'm going to risk losing him, I'm going to go ahead and pay the fine if it's a fine. I'm looking it up right now. The fine is as much as $500,000 and potential loss of draft picks. That's what it's saying here. Yeah. Quick Google search here. So I'll take the $500,000 fine. I don't care. I don't want to lose the draft picks, though. Now, the only team penalized so far with it was the Lions. $200,000 is what they were fined. No draft picks.
It's also hard to prove something like that to an extent. So you go around, you get this coach like Harbaugh, and you interview him right away. You love him. You hire him right away. Like, it doesn't show like any ill fate. It just shows that your desire to get this guy.
Well, no,
so you can get fined. You can still get fined. But what I'm trying to say is, you're gonna get slapped on the wrist compared to like, oh, you purposely didn't go around and interview and hire these people. It's no, we really want this guy. Like, this is what we're doing. Give us the fine. Like,
listen. Honestly, if it's just a fine, I'm cool with it. I mean, granted, it's easy for me to say it's not my money, but I pay the fine. Call it a day. Like, don't lose your potential top guy because of that. Like Jay says, these people who stay to interview everyone are stupid. If you got a guy, go get him. And I would agree with that when it comes to Harbaugh specifically. I think some of the other guys, just interview around the room and see what you got and figure that out, But a Harbaugh to me is so instantaneously the guy that I'm not worried about it whatsoever. Now,
if what it came down to getting, Harbaugh and Tomlin, like those are the two guys in my book. Just go out, get the guy. Luckily, I guess Tomlin, you still would get fine because you didn't bring a second guy in. But
now here's what's interesting as well, because apparently the Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken was the whole issue over this whole thing. They wanted him fired at the Ravens. Harbaugh refused to do it. So, guess who's probably coming with him? That's what it seems like. And but like I said, to me, it's like you have a situation where you're being told, at least again, according to Ian O'Connor, and I don't think he put something out there without having a legit source on it. He wants to come here. We want him to come here. It's going to get done.
There's a lot of coming.
Get done. I'm going to be pissed if we don't get him, to be very frank. And the only thing that would stop me there from, not being pissed about it is if, like I said, the Packers or Bills lose and they fire their coach. I get it. Like, there's a place you can go and you can compete automatically. You're already set up to succeed. He's 62, I think, something like that. Like, he's not exactly,
Is he that old?
Yeah, he's not like, keep mind, he's been with
I guess that makes sense.
18 years. I mean,
I was going to say that makes sense because he was like a young coach then in his early 40s.
Yeah, so I would get that to a degree, but anything else, I would take this 100% as the Giants not doing what they got to do and not opening the checkbook and being cheap. Because let's be very frank, after Coughlin, McAdoo was a cheap hire, Shermer was a cheap hire, Joe Judge was a cheap hire, Brian Dable, maybe wasn't a cheap hire, but he's not getting paid top dollar. He's probably the biggest name we got. So we got to figure this out, guys. And if the Giants don't, I'm going to be pissed. Point blank. Going to be pissed. There's no end or fits about it. You're going to tell me you want who? Kevin Stefanski?
Over Harbaugh? Yeah. No, thank you.
That's my issue right now. I look at that's the name you keep hearing floating around before Harbaugh. And if you look at that Browns team succeeded because of the defense, not because of the offense. The offense was pitiful. And he's supposed to be an offensive coach.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
His best years was Maker. And like we said that his biggest achievement is doing the quote-unquote Super Bowl for the Browns. Is going to the playoffs.
Yeah. And like I said, I want to see more on what's going to happen here with Harbaugh, but keep it up on the news, and obviously we'll let you guys know is what we find out there. But point blank, that's what we're hearing is that he holds Jackson Dart in high regards. He apparently also is somebody who holds the organization in high regards, and it'd be number one, if not close to number one, is what they said. So, and I'll tell you this, that the Giants, literally as we speak, well, not as we speak, dinner's already over. They're actually having dinner tonight with the candidate. So that's according to Gary Myers. So they are having dinner with somebody tonight. Rumor is they're interviewing Kevin Stefanski tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they already had it scheduled before this happened, so I have no beef with it. But Harbaugh needs to 100% be in that building tomorrow at some point. I don't care if you have to do a freaking interview at midnight. You figure it out.
Yeah. Do what you have to do for this guy. Because it's legit. We were talking about good coaching. This is a game changer here.
Yeah. And I'm looking to see we got any more things, by the way, for you guys.
You want a team that can actually like compete and continue to compete, be in the playoffs. Look at Jim Harbaugh, what he's done with the Ravens. Like, he has a winning culture. That's the team you want. And I mean, not to speak ill, but with Bears health, maybe the last thing he does before he hands off the torch, you'll get the winning coach for your team.
Yeah, I'm looking. So Deb says, do we know Harbaugh's interested? Again, according to Ian O'Connor, he is. To what level? Who knows? That's 100%. If I would go into this 100% saying, I don't know if he is. I don't know if he want a part of this franchise because we don't know him personally like that. But Ian O'Connor, again on X, he said Harbaugh has a high regard for the Giants' job and for Jackson Dart. Of the 6 head coach openings, I believe he might have the Giants at number 1 or damn close to it. That's what Ian O'Connor said. Again, you don't come out and say that unless you got some legit sources on that. So, but and there's been a couple other people that have said he's interested as well, but nobody as direct as that.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to hear that for at least another day because it happened. At this point, 4 hours ago.
Yeah.
So it's not like he immediately was sitting in the office with his boss like, either you walk out the door and we're mutually apart, or we're going to release to the press that we let you go. You take your options. It's not like he went out and interviewed right away. I said, I think I want to go to Giants. Now he probably went.
Yeah. And I don't know. I look at everything going on and I just think that it's we got to figure this out. We got to figure this. This is the guy. We talk about an adult in the room all the time. That's been a phrase that we've used. I know a lot of other people have used as well, not just us. An adult in the room. This is the adult in the room. And I know how ridiculous I say when wearing a captain's hat saying that, but I'm just saying that is it. And that's what a lot of people are saying is that he's interested in this job potentially. And I think they're going to be a little bit slow until this weekend's over to find out what happens. Because I think if the Bills and Packers win this week, it's kind of hard to fire your coach after they win a playoff game. But if they lose, and maybe that's what he waits on. Maybe that's what he waits on. I don't know. And Chase says that's a train conductor hat. No, it's got the little the leaf thingies. I don't know what you call that.
It's a captain's hat.
But no, I'm saying the leaf things. I don't know what you call the leaf things on a captain's hat. But anyway, I just look at this as a scenario that we got to make it happen. Got to make it happen somehow. But let's give you guys the rest of the news going on. So Broncos defensive coordinator Vance Joseph is also set to interview with the New York Giants. For the record, since we talked about the Rooney Rule, he does qualify for that part. Also, the Giants have requested to interview Colts DC Lou Anarumo, which, again, we expected that fully. Jordan Raanan gave a preliminary list of coaching candidates that he believes the Giants will look to meet with. Now, this was also given before the Harbaugh situations. So we have Lou Anarumo, obviously, and Vance Joseph. We talked about it already. Mike McCarthy, ex-Packers and Cowboys head coach. Antonio Pierce, the ex-Giants linebacker and ex-Raiders coach. Mike Kafka, obviously, again, the interim coach for the second half of the season. Chris Shula, the Rams defensive coordinator. Jesse Minter, the Chargers defensive coordinator. Jeff Hafley, the Packers defensive coordinator. Matt Burke, the Texans defensive coordinator. Clint Kubiak, the Seahawks offensive coordinator. Cliff Kingsbury, former Commanders OC, which we'll get to in a minute, and former Cardinals head coach. And I can never pronounce this guy's name. I always feel bad. Good coach, too. Ejiro Evero, the Panthers defensive coordinator. So, listen, a lot of defensive guys there. And that's what's really interesting. We kind of said that going into this. There's a lot of defensive coaches out there this year. Not a lot of, offensive, studs kind of people. So, we'll have to see what happens there. But I think if you're going to get a guy who's not Harbaugh, because Harbaugh, again, I don't care, sign the check, I don't even interview, I don't care, done. You're going to get anybody else, you better have that conversation of what do you plan on doing with Jackson Dart? And if you're a defensive guy, who are you bringing in here to go ahead and mentor him? And has he already agreed to do it? That's number one right there. If you can't develop this quarterback that we got that's shown a lot of promise, then what's the point? Right? I mean,
Yeah.
You guys in the comment section with the back door.
Hey, oh, pause.
I have a serious discussion here.
Yeah.
Speaking of serious things, the Titans have added former Cowboys head coach and Giants offensive coordinator Jason Garrett to their interview list. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
he hasn't been a head coach in how many years now? It's 6 years he's been a head coach.
So ridiculous.
That's a little far now. Cowboys fired defensive coordinator Eberflus, which again we already expected that. We talked about that yesterday. They would make a decision within the next week. Commanders fired both offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury and defensive coordinator Joe Witt. Now I expected the DC to go because Dan Quinn literally took over play calling for him towards the end of the season. That's not a very good thing. But why Cliff Kingsbury? Like, this is a guy that people thought would be like going for head coach again this year. Now he's just walking around doing nothing. Interesting, because a lot of Giants fans have said they would like him actually to be the head coach. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so personally. He wasn't on high on our list, but intriguing to bring him in as an OC maybe. Stop laughing at the comments. But I just think that'd be an interesting thing to look at. Is like you can go ahead and now if you really like Cliff Kingsbury and you think he's the guy to go ahead and bring in. You guys are killing me. To go ahead and be the one to go ahead and mentor Jackson Dart. And he's done so much, obviously, in the college ranks, especially with mentoring quarterbacks. People wanted to bring him in as a head coach. Well, now you can bring him in as the OC. And you can tell him.
They're coming in here talking about more ass stuff. Sorry.
Yeah, as Greg says, Stefanski sucks ass. Just got all kinds of, oh, my gosh. Anyway, Lions fired OC John Morton. Cardinals have requested head coaching interviews with Robert Saleh, the 49ers defensive coordinator and former Jets head coach, and Anthony Weaver, the defensive coordinator for the Dolphins. The Browns have requested an interview with Ravens, or I guess maybe Ravens / former Ravens. I'm not sure where his contract stands now with Harbaugh gone. Todd Munkins. And now we're talking about it. The Ravens wanted to fire him. Harbaugh might want to bring him with. But he's actually got an interview for a head coaching job. Leave it to the Browns to want to interview somebody who just got let go basically because it took the head coach down with them because the head coach wouldn't fire him.
That's basically the Browns move. Let's see you go to the Raiders next.
That was the Browns.
I know it's Browns. The Raiders are next.
Matt Ryan, we talked about it. He's going to be potentially up for the president of football operations job, and what everybody thinks is kind of a BS interview that he'll get no matter what. Kind of like the Harbaugh and Giants one. So Thursday or Friday, he's going to be interviewing for president of football operations there. And again, still hopes to keep his TV gig, which I just don't understand. How that even works at all. I just don't get it. Falcons also have requested to interview Bears assistant GM Ian Cunningham as well. So a lot of moves going on here today, guys. A lot of moves. But let's be honest with you, 95% of it is just John Harbaugh. That's all we care about. That's the big one.
Just bring me Harbaugh.
Harbaugh. We told you guys from the get-go, Harbaugh and Tomlin. We wanted one of those two. we have the chance to get one now. So I just think that this is a potential franchise changer for the Giants to bring in a guy like Harbaugh. And it's perfect timing to do it because, again, you hear everybody talking about what's going on with John Mara. And listen, again, we wish him all the best. But we all saw what kind of shape he was in when he got the game ball after the game on Sunday. Been fighting cancer. He's not exactly young. Even as we hope everything works out well with that eventually, he's not exactly young. Supposedly they love Joe Shane because he brought youth and modernness to the Giants. Well, Harbaugh can bring a lot of what they'd know in Baltimore as well. And you know what else he can bring? He can bring in a demand that he will work with.
Goodbye, Shane.
And listen, I don't think Harbaugh's that guy for the most part. He doesn't seem like that guy, but we don't know what he thinks of Joe Shane. If he walks into the office for an interview and say, I want this job, I don't want to work with Joe Shane. Kind of like what happened again last year with Liam Cohen and the Jacksonville Jaguars. He didn't want to work with the GM, but he was interested in the job. But listen, he comes in and says that, bye-bye, Shane. I don't care. Bye-bye. What's the worst? He brings Ozzie Newsome with him? I mean, I'm just kidding. You wouldn't. Ozzie's definitely a Ravens guy, 100%. But I'm just saying, we'll figure it out. Who wouldn't want to work with this team? You know what I mean? Also, Greg saying Harbaugh will bring Wink back. Wink and Harbaugh are really tight. I've heard that from a few people. Wink and Harbaugh are not tight. I don't know who's been spurting that rumor around. If you remember, Wink only came to the Giants because he mutually left the Ravens, same as he mutually left the Giants.
Yeah.
Wink's probably a nice guy to deal with outside of work. But from everything I hear, basically, from what happened with the Ravens, what happened with the Giants, he's a total immature dick to work with. Usually I try to put it a little nicer. I'm just going to put a blunt into that one.
You have to imagine so. He's probably the person that needs to get it his way.
But he's used to. And that doesn't work with a guy like Harbaugh. Harbaugh is that CEO-style head coach. Exactly what the Giants have been looking for. He had the benefit of coming in and he was a special teams coordinator. So he does not focus on the offense. He's not focused on the defense. He's the guy who wants to go ahead and just look over the whole thing. That's why he's successful. So, Jay says Wink looks like the dude who runs the local Corvette club. I'm gonna go one step further. He looks like the guy who runs the local IROC club.
He looks like he should belong as the manager at a trailer park in Florida.
Oh my god, he does live in Florida. Remember, he disappeared there when he left the Giants.
Yeah,
but
he ran away.
Listen, we'll figure it out.
Here it come.
I'm telling you right now, you get John Harbaugh here with this team having a rookie quarterback that's shown a lot of promise, having a stud pass rusher in Brian Burns, having another guy who is starting to up and come, so to speak, there the last third of the season, whatever you want to say, with Carter, who's a lot of people have a lot of respect for what he's done the last few games there. Plus, you throw in Malik Neighbors, you throw in Scadaboo, you throw in Trace. I'm telling you right now, guys, this is like a franchise-changing type of move if we get him. As Maddie says, Wink is the uncle at the picnic who will give you shots under the table when you're 16. Yes, he is.
Yes,
he is. That wouldn't shock me at all.
He's the guy that parties with John Daly.
And honestly, it would not be top shelf. I'm just saying it would not be top shelf at all.
Evan Williams, here it comes.
Yeah. Like I said, we just got to hope this
Travelers come wrong. Here it comes.
As Jay says, Drew's foaming at the mouth bullish. I am. I'm telling you, this is a move I've been hoping for a while. I've not been very happy, to be honest with you guys, with the last couple of guys we hired. I know Dable was the big hiring move. Everybody wanted Dable. Remember when we got him? He was like, "Oh, this is the top guy. Everybody thinks he's going to be great." I was not a Dable guy. Let me be very clear on that, because
he optimistic
anywhere but the Bills.
I was optimistic. I got honey dicked. Like
I was not big on it. He failed in Kansas City as an OC. He failed in Cleveland as an OC. He failed in Miami as an OC. He failed everywhere else he went except the one place. Then you go in back, but before that, Joe Judge. I'll admit this, like everybody else, I bought into him during the press conference. That press conference got you psyched up when you got introduced, you know? But before that, I was like, Joe who? Joe Judge what?
Like, Belichick backs this guy. I guess he's good.
Honestly, that was the thing that scared me the most, because Belichick guys suck usually. But he won me over during that press conference. But yeah, no, I wasn't psyched when we first hired him until that press conference. Pat Shurmur, I knew that was going to flame out and be a freaking disaster. And McAdoo, you could take one look at that guy and tell you he was not going to lead anybody.
That whole thing, just disgusting.
Like honestly, who looks at McAdoo with that ill-fitting suit and that mustache that looks like he's like a trucker from 1974?
Who shut the couch?
Like he could have been like one of the extras from Smokey the Bandit. Like that's how crazy that mustache was. Okay, and who looked at him and go, "That's the guy who's going to lead a locker room"? You know, so yeah, can't
take that guy serious.
I'm not shocked at all. You know, and I think that unfortunately that's what we haven't deal with, but I'm just hoping that we can figure something out with this team. Also, Jay says, I always wonder where baby McAdoo is now. Ben McAdoo is now actually a senior defensive assistant for the Patriots. So
how the mighty have fallen.
So he's still there. He's still there. Still coaching at that point. And yeah, but the whole thing is crazy. Jason, I always wanted Flores, but I think Mara wanted a fresh hire. I don't think Flores and us are going to happen. I don't know who's holding the grudge, if it's us or Flores. But it doesn't. I don't hear anything. Nobody's listing him even. Nobody's even listed him all. Gary says, if we get John Harbaugh in the next year's New England Patriots, and yeah, I mean, plus we went over yesterday, the schedule is not as bad either. Yeah, we are next year's Patriots at that point. So
we're close to it. I don't want to give the possible number one in the division.
No, God damn it, we're getting the number one seed.
But
I'm tired of losing. God damn it!
You can turn around to be a division winner real fast.
Yeah,
Eagles are like who the Eagles were, like just barely bouncing on thin ice. Cowboys, I mean, they played better than a lot of people thought, but they still only had 7 wins at the end of the year.
8.
Commanders,
right? 8, 9.
Yeah, you're probably right. 8-9. Commanders totally.
Oh, wait, 8-9 win, right? The Packers, they couldn't have been 8-9.
7-9-1.
Yeah.
And the Commanders, they took a big step back due to injuries, but Daniels played the same after being injured. Does he
7-9-1, and they were second in the division.
Yeah, this is gonna be a big turnaround in the division. Comes here, we could actually win the division.
Jay says, "Wait, we can't tackle, and half our line might leave. Our number one wide receiver walks with the cane drill. It's fine because we can't tackle. That's a coaching issue, and we already talked about. We did the mock draft yesterday. We talked about that. And half our line might walk. No, we have one guy who's going to leave for sure, and that's it. Oh, that's 2 guys. Yeah, Van Roden's also. I'm not worried about that. I wouldn't worry about that one. And everyone walks with a cane. I don't care about what he walks with in January. I care what he walks with in September. He'll be fine. And everybody talking about Jason Garrett. We said that Jason Garrett's interviewing for the head coaching job with the Titans. And Runyon is not a free agent, Jay. We technically have him. So I would cut him in a heartbeat, personally. So here we go. We got from a Ravens fan. Raven76 B More 54 says, Ravens flock, we are glad Harbaugh's gone. The guy is stubborn and wasted Lamar prime. He will do the same with Jackson Dart. So, We'll see. Listen, I hope the Ravens well. Honestly, as a Giants fan, I respect the Ravens a lot because they've consistently been good for, it seems like a quarter of a century now. So, I mean, Harbaugh's just time was up there, man. That's what it boils down to. You only last so long before eventually, and 18 years, was 18 years, I think?
Yeah, 18 years, I believe. It's a hell of a tenure with a team, but everyone falls. Like everyone talks about Bill Belichick being one of the best ever, one of the best ever.
Yep.
His time ran up after 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you got to move on.
And wasting his prime. Honestly, I'm not a Lamar Jackson fan personally. I just don't think he gets it done when it matters. And I say this as a Giant fan loving what Jackson Dark's doing. I'm not usually a fan of running quarterbacks in general because 9 times out of 10, the winner is not a running quarterback. Like when I'm talking about the Super Bowl winner, like the guys who are holding the trophy at the end, which is what I want.
Yeah.
So, that's why I keep on saying about Dart, move around the pocket, don't run for it. Like that's how you win typically. See, Jonathan Wilson, 6645 says, good luck to the Giants in their search for a new head coach. I'm here to tell you, if you get him, you get a lot of Giant fans from Baltimore. So, yeah, like I said, there's respect between the two franchises. I do think there is. And even here we go, the Ravens coming back saying we respect the Giants as well, but don't let their stubbornness ruin y'all. Again, you got to also keep in mind where the Giants are. We've been such a bad team for so long. Don't tell me that Harbaugh isn't a huge improvement over the guys we've had since we lost Coughlin. I'll say lost.
Yeah.
We kind of booted him out of there real quick.
I mean, stubbornness or not, like you guys started off 1-6 this year, and then turn around and almost won the division. Like that's not based off like the players are wasting talent there. Like that's the coaching to help get around. There's a lot of injuries on that defense.
There was,
and a lot of injuries on that offense. And they went back and forth and still played some good ball.
Yeah.
So you guys, what? I think it was at one point you were 1-6, and then you were 6-6. So they should be.
I get it.
You should be proud.
It just, to me, it was a scenario where he's been there for so long.
Allegedly, yeah.
It was just time for a change. That's all it was. And again, there was definitely a mutual, even though he's technically fired. It definitely was a mutual. He was definitely part of it. There was reports that he was also even talking earlier today before he got fired, talking to his assistants about that. So this was a mutual parting of ways, I think, because I think that the Ravens were they wanted change and he just didn't want to change, which is a stubbornness. That's fine. But you know what? That stubbornness worked for 18 years.
It makes you wonder too. Did you see yesterday when Harbaugh walked Luke back into the locker room after missing that, kick with the clock was 0? Showed him a lot of comfort, but you wonder if he's like, "Sorry, kid, we're both gone."
He was whispering in his ear, "You just cost me my job."
Yeah, it's all right, bud. Don't be upset.
No, but like I said, I really think that it'd be amazing. And Matty brings up a great point as well. He says, the young team could energize him, and change the scenery can do a lot, and that can. How many times have anybody of us, seen a situation where somebody changes positions or locations, and all of a sudden things change? Ravens is on the outside looking in. Giants fans don't know the whole situation. It's a lot that happened. Anyway, good luck on that piece. No, man, like I said, appreciate it. Like I said, I get it. Like I said, it's just, you got to understand where we're coming from. We would love to be where the Ravens are coming from. Oh, no, we barely missed the playoffs after making it usually. Sign me up.
You had more wins this year than we had the past 2.
Yeah. So I'm saying, sign me up. I'm good. I will take that in a heartbeat, guys. Take that in an absolute heartbeat. I think the big thing is just going to be, will the Giants pay him enough? And I think the Giants have no choice but to. Like, if it comes out that Harbaugh wanted, let's say hypothetically, that the Giants go ahead and interview him. He says, yep, I want to sign. and they're like, okay, well, we're offering you $5 million here, and he's like, no, I want $20 million, like Andy Reid, and he says no. John Mayer and Steve Tisch say no. Imagine the fan base then.
Oh,
like Harbaugh,
no medium Coke, no large Coke's going to fix that.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing actually. You stole my joke about Cokes.
Yeah.
Like it
you better be offering 8 balls in the bathroom or something.
Again, I get where people don't always like John Mara. And I think he's a lot of stuck back with the time of, the days that were. I think he's also way too loyal to a lot of people within that organization. But he loves the fan base. He appreciates the fan base. I generally do think that. I just don't. I wonder if that medium Coke even thing went through his desk. He probably was just like, yeah, okay, do something for the fans. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, whatever.
Like I told the backlash years later, but I look at it as like, I think he understands that the fans are pissed. You got planes going over the buildings. You got empty seats left and right. This is something that's going to energize the fan base. And I think he's going to be up for it. I really do. I really do think that. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
Time will tell, guys. Time will tell. But in the end, that's all we can hope for is that John Harbaugh comes here. The talk goes well. The Giants don't screw it up. And all of a sudden, Giants have probably one of the best coaches in the NFL. Like I don't want to do like a top 5, top 10 right here, but I think it's pretty safe to say
he's one of the better coaches. You laughed at me at the beginning of the year when I said something about that. The Harbaughs are one of the better coaches of this generation. And as I put them in the tier, they're definitely better, above average. It's great coaches in this generation of football.
Yeah. Jonathan says, I'm sure Harbaugh will take a look at Atlanta of the list of teams looking, which I'm sure will grow. Yeah, Atlanta's probably our biggest competition. Whenever you hear people talk about best available jobs, and again, Ravens automatically catapult to number 1 because of the Ravens. Automatically catapult to number 1. But obviously he can't go there. And Anthony just hit the head of the nail on the head there. Atlanta needs a QB.
Yeah, Penix Jr. got knee messed up again. Who knows how he's going to play next year? Which is his 3rd knee injury.
Again, Harbaugh's not young. Like, he looks younger than he is. He's 63 years old. I don't think there's a chance that he goes, you know what? Let me go to a team that's probably going to be a couple of years away because they don't have a quarterback yet.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can go to the Giants. They have a quarterback. They have the young pieces. They have low expectations because they've been losing for so long. To me, it's the perfect scenario for him to go to. And I will say also, because Greg just said, I say Stefanski's going to Atlanta. Watch Stefanski go to Baltimore. Like.
That would be something. I was about to say, I can see him go to Atlanta because that's the type of move that Atlanta would make.
We'll see. Again, it all depends on what happens, I think, with Buffalo and the Green Bay this week. Deb says Atlanta is a small market. Knows somebody who lives there and says team is not that well supported. Here's the crazy thing. Atlanta is not a small market. Atlanta, and again, I got a lot of family in the area. I've been to the stadium. Beautiful stadium again. Absolutely beautiful stadium. Perfect scenario. The problem with Atlanta is much like here in Florida where I live, where so many people have moved there that in the end, they don't really have a home team. That's like one of the fastest growing cities in the entire area. So, Jonathan says, I'm pulling for the Giants. It's a shorter drive. Our stadium isn't as nice, but yeah, like I said, I just think that you're going to see the Giants pull all the stops out. I think that the Maras and the Tisches, I think they understand how important this is for this franchise. Dare I say they won't screw it up?
I'm not going to say they won't screw it up. I hope they don't screw it up.
Oh, I'm going to say it. So, but listen, guys, we got a lot of people in right now. We got 126 people right now. I know we got
That's why your comment stat high.
76 of y'all sitting there on YouTube. Do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up. You'd be surprised how much that helps blow this up to people out there. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe as well. Appreciate you guys. Probably got a lot of people on here that are new as well. So if you haven't, hit the subscribe overall. Like I said, Jason, we want people to banter with. This is a lot of people all the time. But for those who aren't aware of what we do exactly, we do Giants content every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Up until last week, we do game coverage as well. So we do live play-by-play and post-game coverage as well. So, if you're a football fan in general, we do also a lot of weekly recaps. We do game previews. We'll continue that doing all the postseason as well. I almost called it preseason. I haven't been the postseason so long as a fan that I forgot what it's like. And then we also do a ton of draft coverage as well. So if you're in the NFL draft,
on the YouTube slant out there,
yeah, we do a ton. And like Jay says, we just argue about drinking baby T-Rexes and advantages of tax havens. Occasionally we'll talk about food. We got stuck on food of bagels for an hour and a half.
Yeah. Sometimes we staring at each other.
It happens. So anyway, guys, that's gonna call it a night for us. We'll be back again tomorrow with you guys, though, talking about either more coaching news or starting some season reviews. Even at that point, there we got to see, what happened there. Hopefully we got some good news for you guys today. We got Brian Jordan saying definitely first time listening to you guys. Subscribe. I want Harbaugh watching in Vegas. Appreciate it, man. Also, go ahead and put 20 on red for us, and if you win, that goes into the super chats.
Yeah. If not, Drew Venmo you the $20.
I miss Vegas, man. I haven't been to Vegas in forever. I literally haven't been to Vegas in like 25 years.
No,
it's been so long since I've been to Vegas that the last time I was there, they were opening the Aladdin Hotel, which is now closed down for a few years. That just tells you how long it's been. I need to go.
Brutal.
It's a fun place. It's a fun place. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys for listening in to a random extra episode we're doing here because of the Harbaugh news. That's just so big and so exciting there. Well, like I said, we'll go ahead and see you guys there tomorrow, 9:00, as always. Appreciate you guys for joining us, supporting the show as always. And as always, Giant fans, go G-Man!
Go G-Man! Go G-Man! G-Man!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.